live now. Okay. What do you want to tell me?
There's nothing I want to tell you. There's something I think you need to tell me, because I had this incredible milestone and there's just been nothing from you. No likes, no comments.
Your best friend.
I've been busy.
No
I went to the
cards.
park. When did you do it?
Well, last night I broke into top 100.
Oh, I saw it and it hurt my feelings, so I just ignored it. Let me see. Let me take a look here.
Your feelings, mister. I created a screen overlay and brought it up for weeks when I beat your time at Astrobot. You hurt my feelings.
Yeah, but my feelings are real. Yours aren't.
My feelings count.
Yeah, my feelings count.
My God.
All right, let's see. I'll go to the verified fucking notifications here, so I can just get to you quickly. Acknowledge me. Okay. All right, tribal chief. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. 100 on the nose and never any higher. That's it.
That's pretty impressive.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. That's pretty good stuff.
Mike, you should play this game. Oh, no, Jeff, I think I may have missed the boat on it. Come on. It's fun.
I'm glad that that's your voice that you're doing when you do the squeaky voice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. Hello, everybody. We are about to get started. I'm going to check my...
Oh, look at the... When did you add Fraser and Niles to this? That's
I didn't. That's all Christian. Christian has access to the stream elements, so...
That was...
Very good.
Oh, when was that?
That's got to be a week or two ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, there they are. I saw you were streaming to this call, Christian. I'm like, ooh, he's streaming more Frasier. Not that you would ever pirate a video. He's streaming gifs of Frasier.
I will never. Yeah, the sanctity of Frasier is untouched.
And I was like, oh no, it's multiverses.
I was just like, I'm a build my main now, so I had to, and I'm pretty good at it. So I wanted to show off my build my main.
Mm-hmm.
But Mike didn't watch, so it was all.
No.
Let's go here.
Futile.
Let's go to the stream deck.
So taken aback from Jeff saying that Multiverses feels better than Smash Bros, which isn't an invitation for you to justify yourself, Jeff.
I don't think it's. I don't know if I said feel. Well, maybe it does feel. It just feels.
It feels good.
It feels like I'm doing something. Is what I said.
What? No, I'm not. I'm not even going to. I'm not falling for this bait.
It's a Nintendo podcast this week. We can talk during the show if you want.
There's nothing I would like less.
All right, what am I doing? Oh, I gotta change my audio and get your camera. All right, let's see here.
These people never learn
to respect,
build my power.
Set the chat, and then I get hit this button.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yep,
start cheering
now. Hey, Forrest Minish. Now.
Wanna do an animes update?
Yes. After the show, we will do a very brief Naruto update for Patreon subscribers and for anyone who's joined the YouTube. Because I'll put the link in the podcast producers channel. You can listen just to the audio version.
The show is called Animes Update.
Animes Update. Welcome to Animes Update.
I need to stream a little bit more Hitman 3 tonight because I found out that new level has a Monkey Island Easter egg and it's related to lighting all of those torches, Jeff.
I thought there's something to do with those torches, and then there's something else happening in that level that I was trying to piece together, and I'm like, my brain would not remember it. I'm just gonna keep playing that. I'm just gonna keep playing the level over and over and over again. I'm gonna learn it every single friggin' inch because it's so good. Okay. So chat heard that. They hear us now. We need to get your camera probably, and then we'll be good to go. You can go to studio mode and take a look at what it looks like here. No, that just popped right in. Let me just adjust myself here. We were, before Bombcast today, we're setting up our snow runners thing we're going to do.
Oh, nice.
And it's fun. It's fun. It's good stuff.
He's watching both. He's watching subs and ups.
I am.
Pretty sure.
Basically, yes. I'm watching both. When I get on the treadmill, I set it to subs with Japanese audio. When I am doing kettlebells and I'm getting down on the ground and doing push-ups and stuff, I set it to dubs. And then even when I'm watching dubs, I still have the subtitles on.
Yeah.
So I know what the original.
Maximizing the Naruto.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Maximum Naruto. There was a guy at the playground today where I took my girls, and he was wearing a Naruto shirt and a Naruto hat. and I was this close to being like, I just started watching that show. Shall we commence our conversation now?
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to you, Jeff. He's wearing an anime shirt. He doesn't know how to converse with people.
And then Goldie, SnowRunners is a trucking game. Yes, it is. Absolutely. That's what makes it so good. Okay. I think we are ready. I feel like we're forgetting something like always.
Did you tweet?
No, and I also I haven't opened the rundown yet. Let me do that.
That's good. Maybe you could update what you're playing in the rundown. You never do that.
Yeah, I never do that. Yeah, okay, let's change things up and actually participate in the show. All right.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound like me. That sounds like against my nature. All right, let me tweet Jeff. What? You know what? I should finish Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I keep meaning to do that. I'm going to pick up my Switch tonight. I'm going to play Kirby, and then I'm going to beat Kirby, and then I'm going to go back to Arceus.
There we
go. That's my life right there.
Jeff
is playing I can't remember the name of this game. Sorry. Okay. I left the Steam thing on that the mortuary assistant that Jess was talking about, and I left it on that creepy guy in the cabinet.
Like shit.
That's a fucking scary motherfucker. There we go. Okay.
I don't like that. See, I that'd be almost my least favorite kind of horror. Is anything set with the whole business of dealing with dead people.
Yeah,
I don't like funeral parlors or anything to do with that whole vibe. I don't like it.
I work with a guy that he used to polish dead people, in the cemetery. I don't know the name of this, crypts. There are crypts inside the cemetery.
Sure.
Yeah. He would clean those places, in the middle of the night. In some places they have yeah, they don't. They have they don't have it's just a glass. There's no you can see the body, and the guy will open that thing and clean all around that shit all the time.
No, thank you. We need to go back to burn pits. I don't know if we ever had those, but yes, there's too much respect for the dead. It's not necessary.
Aren't you scared in the middle of the night like doing that? It's no, I'm more scared of the people that comes to steal shit from the graveyard. That people is pretty. If they're still in the graveyard, they're gonna rob graveyard. They're pretty scary.
Yeah, that's scary stuff. Yeah,
I don't like it.
Okay, I think we're ready to start. Mike, you good?
I'm good.
Thank you, Christian. We'll see you later.
Hey, everybody, push thumbs up if you're watching this.
Thumbs up, please.
Oh, wait. Later.
Thumbs up or the thumbs come off. I know people. I'm Italian.
All right. Tribal Chief, Jesus. Okay. I am going to count us in.
It was so hard listening to people talking about Cheesecake Factory and National Treasure on the Bombcast, Jeff, and just sitting on the sidelines.
I bet.
I have an opinion.
Okay. Let's go for this. 5, 4, 3. I gotta wait for us to.
What'd you do?
I stopped streaming. We're back. I think we're back.
What button did you push?
I pressed the stop streaming button. I looked at it, read the words "stop streaming," and pressed it. So it's a good start to the show tonight, everybody. Woo!
Oh my god.
Okay, I've only done this 300, 400 times or something.
Yes, this is the third time I've podcasted with you this week already, and it's Tuesday. And I'll tell you what, it's way too many times.
For real. It's this is it. This is exactly the thing where it's I do something on Giant Bomb, the Giant Bomb Reddit. It's oh, Jeff Grubb, he's so good. And then I come here, it's you fucking donkey, you fucking imbecile,
donkey.
you
do
child.
Accidentally push the turn it off button.
You child, you monkey pressing buttons. All right, okay, here we go. I'm counting us in, and I'm just gonna hover over the start record button. Yeah, that's right, Chris. They just don't know me yet. Yeah, for real. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. I don't know why. It just makes me laugh. Like the cadence you have found for that is Nintendog.
Nintendog. I'm just trying to hit all those syllables, Mike. Boom, 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 boom. I'm a machine gun. I am a machine.
Yeah, you're a hero. Today, we got a Pokemon Presents coming up. Don't expect Mortal Kombat. And what if Nintendo had a superhero? Jeff, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I took my children to the park. There is, I think I probably told this, the roller coaster swing. They ask about it all the time now. So now it's like, okay, if you're good, if you clean the playroom, if you you know, they don't have chores, but it's like, yeah, we'll get there. And so
that's the bribe.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, that sounds good. You know, we want someone like wear them out and stuff and give them stuff to do, so it's not just always inside all summer, things like that. So yeah, it was fun. We go back there and they both are doing it. You have to be 5. The 3-year-old also does it though, so we're breaking the law.
Wow. Somebody get me the police.
They know the rule, which is hold on no matter what. And it's very funny because the 5-year-old will go, and it picks up really fast because it's like this big heavy chain thing that hangs on there. So when she goes, she screams, and it's just the entire park. And it's a pretty big park. Just looks over, oh, this kid is hurt. No, she's just screaming her head off because she's having fun.
It's fun to scream.
Yep. And then we got ice cream, and now we're here, and they're eating dinner, and they're going to go to bed now. So good day.
There you go. Not too bad. Not too bad. I did, I worked and took a nap. I need to stop taking the naps. I got back into the nap habit during the COVID because like I need lots of rest.
Right.
And now I don't need lots of rest. I just get sleepy after work again.
Are you getting enough sleep at night, do you think?
Oh, probably. I don't know. It's hard. I usually do. It's rough when Penny gets up earlier than me, Jeff.
Sure.
She'll get up like 2 hours earlier than I want to. So then it's like that weird thing where I get a little bit more sleep, and then it's really like waking up from that feels miserable for some reason.
Yeah.
So once Penny's dead, I think I'll be able to finally sleep.
We're all just waiting for Penny to die. I mean, absolutely.
I do love Penny, but I have such a different like relationship with her in terms of personality compared to everyone else with their animals. Everyone's like my angel, my best friend. I'm like this piece of shit. Probably in the other room taking a shit right now.
Honestly, I mean, you sound like you have a cat, because that is a relationship I have with every cat I've ever had. This motherfucker over here, but it's like I love that. Like, yeah, this little asshole. Look at you, you piece of shit. So yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I love Penny. I lived with Penny for 10 years though, and like anybody I live with 10 years, like that's a different kind of relationship. I feel like than what I see online, like the dog mom, dog dad. And it's like, here's my pictures. Like no, I'm over the beautifulness of my pet.
Don't give us thumbs down just because Mike is saying bad things about his pet. This is how he loves. You have to understand. This is how he shows affection.
You seen how I interact with Jeff? This
is it.
I like Penny much more than I like Jeff.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, come on, thumbs up. There you go.
All right, Jeff. Speaking about having pets that you either love or maybe you make them fight your battles for you, we have a Pokemon Presents tomorrow morning. This is happening at 9 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get more details on Scarlet and Violet, not Scarlet and Nexus.
No, definitely not.
Probably some details about some other things like apps, so maybe Pokemon Sleep. I don't know, Jeff. What are you expecting from this? Are you gonna get up and watch it?
I have been deathly afraid of committing to waking up for this after the last time I said I would get up early for Nintendo Direct and slept until 15 minutes after it started.
Giant Bomb. I did getting up early to live react to it. Then you didn't show up.
Absolutely, and then I didn't show up. So very afraid to do that again. So I've just kept quiet, and I think I might still wake up and try. Like if Jan's gonna react to it, so I might get up and just be there. He said he was going to do it solo. If he wants to do it solo, I'll let him solo dolo that shit. But, if he wants someone to watch with him, I'll try to get up and do that. So that's the plan right now. I'm not telling anyone at work that, though.
Surprise.
So yeah, so a pleasant surprise instead of a very bad. Well, but it's better than saying I'm going to be there and then not showing up.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. It's like yes, yes. He's your problem now.
So I want to watch this. I want to see what's going on. I want Pokemon to keep coming. Like I'm over here. Pokemon has been mostly over there for 25 years. And occasionally we intersect. Occasionally we hold hands. And I'm fine with that. But it is nice when I can where I kind of feel like, oh, it's coming closer to me now. And that's what happened with Arceus. And I'm like interested to see if Scarlet and Violet are continuing to do that, if they're going to continue coming closer to the things I like, while at the same time serving this massive Pokemon audience that I don't know what they want to change or not. I don't really care, actually, but I can tell that it's very important that the Pokemon company not fuck that up. So, you know, whatever. Like, if they could serve both me and that huge audience, I'll be happy. If they only end up serving that big audience, I'll understand, and I'll just go back and finish Arceus, which I enjoyed and never finished. So that's kind of where I'm at with Pokemon overall right now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of learned my lesson with Sword and Shield about getting maybe too excited here. Even like some of the stuff we're hearing about how it's going to be opened up a bit more. I'm keeping my expectations pretty well in check here, Jeff. I mean, and look, it also, like, Sword and Shield was still fun enough. I enjoyed playing through it, but boy, was it a forgettable experience overall after you beat it. So we'll see. Maybe Scarlet Nexus will have some surprises there. I am probably, even now, Jeff, mostly still thinking about what the sequel to Arceus looks like. That's what I really want to be excited for. But what do you think, like, we do see about these games? So, I mean, we already have, like, a release date and other things. The kind of stuff we can see, like, new, like, just specifics, granular details, like gym leaders, some new Pokemon, some evolutions. I mean,
they could show off, like, a lot of people seem to have a little bit anxiety about Scarlet and Violet. You did say Scarlet and Nexus again, just to let you know.
Did I? Great.
Yep.
Fantastic.
It's. I think they could give some people a little assurance about the whole. It's open. You can go anywhere, but there's no level scaling. Like, show how that works, so that or like give like an example of how that works, so people aren't just immediately just assuming like, oh, that's not really open, because if I go in a place and I immediately die, that's just for people who are weird speedrunners who are going to figure out weird stuff. Show that it's like possible to, like, you know, skip ahead, you know, do some shortcuts and stuff that really matter and make the game more interesting. I think that'd be cool, and I think that's the thing where it's like we've heard about these things, we just have a lot of questions about them. If they can answer that stuff in any concrete way, this will be a successful Pokemon Direct. And then it'll be successful if we finally get Pokemon sleep, because I'm ready to sleep with Pokemon.
That'll help me get better sleep, I think, Jeff. That'll be the key.
Yes, that's what we've been waiting for.
I think my problem with sleep is that sleep apnea runs in my family.
Yeah, well, I got to go get a CPAP machine too. I think it's time.
Well, I did a sleep test a while ago. Like, at this point, maybe like 7 years ago.
What goes into that?
Oh, you go to like this lab, and it's almost like it's like half doctor's office, half hotel. And they like wire you with like a bunch of things, which for a hairy guy like me is kind of uncomfortable. And then you go into a bedroom and you just sleep, and they're able to monitor like your body signals and your breathing and stuff like that. So, and then they know or not. Last time I somehow passed it, but since then I've been told that my snoring is worse and all these other things. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just fat, and that's the problem. Maybe I should just lose some weight, Jeff.
I've been trying for that very, very exact reason, is trying to get my snoring under control. But I think sleeping better would make it easier to lose weight. So it's a terrible, terrible thing. So Snorlax, there's the connective tissue there. Let's guess about anything else that might be there. Do you think there will be any surprises? Do you think there will be a Pokken 3, Pokken 2, Pokken whatever?
No, I don't think they're announcing another like majorish game with this big one coming out so soonish. Pokken/Pokken, whatever. I don't know. Like, that first one did fine, Jeff, and that's one of those ones that was on Wii U and also Switch, and even still didn't seem to light anyone's world on fire. That's one, like, if we get a new one of those, it'll be decades later, a la Pokemon Snap.
Right, yeah. So I think it's gonna be mostly Scarlet and Violet and maybe a few other surprises, but
mobile
stuff is what I mean when I say surprise. Yes, that's exactly right. Maybe there'll probably be a new character added to Unite, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be something like that, or some fun costumes. Hey, I'm seeing that banned word in chat a lot, by the way. Everybody, calm down.
Is that mostly just Sosuke? Because I can.
It's mostly just Sosuke. But I want to get rid of his message, but I'm afraid of actually banning him. But a mod should know better.
Yeah,
a wizard should know better.
He's in timeout now. That's dealt with. There we go. Washing my hands.
There you go. See, look, we're fair. Everyone's treated the same. We're egalitarian over here.
You got it. Absolutely. Mike, this is your show, and I'm waiting for you to continue.
Oh, you know what, Jeff? I forgot. I just got so excited about banning people. It just really wiggles my jiggles. I thought you were going to say the word.
I got so excited about. No, whoa, no, Mike, no.
No, that awkward pause was brought to you by Mike Minotti. Jeff, our next news story here. Logitech and Tencent Games are working on a cloud-based handheld console. It's going to come out by the end of this year.
The Switch killer is here.
Another Switch killer. You know, it's already been killed once by the Steam Deck. Now it's just going to get killed again. It'll be double dead. I don't know, Jeff. What do you think about this thingamajiggy?
I think that I will probably have some interest in peeking at it. A lot of it will depend on the price. It's the kind of thing I feel like I will get. I'll be like, this is handy for accessing these very specific cloud services, which seem to be Game Pass and NVIDIA, whatever I can't ever, G Cloud, GeForce Now, or whatever, GeForce Now, I think. Yeah, and I think those are the two they mentioned, right? Game Pass and GeForce Now. I don't know if they mentioned anything else. There are probably others that would work on this no problem, but whatever. Those two would give you a lot of games. But I think the immediate future for now is handheld gaming with native processing. And then you could also do cloud gaming on there if you want. The Steam Deck has only proven this more beyond what has already happened with the Switch, which the Switch I think obviously proves it as well. And I think it's probably not going to appeal to a super wide audience. But that said, well, you know, it's not going to appeal to a super wide audience maybe here. I think maybe there's a chance in China, maybe Japan, maybe Korea. Maybe there's some markets that where, you know, the idea of playing games from the cloud and using really good local internet, really good cellular service, where it would maybe make more sense. On top of that, you know, Logitech doesn't need to have a device that sells 20 million units. If they sell 100,000 to 500,000 units, that's a big success. Like think about most of the devices they make, like none of those are very few of those are going to be several million selling units. And then the ones that are probably like mice and keyboards that have pretty high profit margins, but also are relatively low priced and kind of mass market things. So if this thing can come along and appeal to a certain niche and does what it says it will do on the tin and comes in at a decent price, good for them. That's great. I have my way of playing games now. It will take a lot to peel me away from the Switch and the Steam Deck.
Yeah, sure. Although this will probably be a good deal cheaper, right? I mean, it doesn't need much innards. It just basically needs some power and operating system, like the ability to connect to the internet.
Yeah, but it's going to be at least $100, and I bet it's closer to $150. And at that point, you're like $50 away from the Switch Lite.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true. I do like Logitech stuff quite a bit. I used to be a Razer boy just because I thought I had to as a quote-unquote gamer. And then all my Razer shit kept breaking, so I just got Logitech stuff, and it has all been fantastic. I love I got my G502 Hero mouse. I got one of their keyboards. I'm a big fan of the Logitech build.
I bought a $2,500 Razer laptop. The mouse click broke. I had them replace it, and it immediately broke again. And I've been meaning to contact them to get it fixed again, and maybe have it replace it with a better model or something. But I'm probably not going to get Razer again. This Logitech mouse I have, I love it. Logitech does good stuff, good hardware, really high quality, and they're really well designed from just a ergonomic standpoint. Yes, I think this is exciting. I kind of been oh, is Logitech going to do a gaming laptop or something? That'd be cool. They haven't gone that way yet. This is kind of walking that line. That's pretty cool to have them making a piece of gaming hardware.
Isn't it almost what you would expect? Hardware. If Microsoft did make portable gaming hardware, you would almost expect it to be something streaming or cloud based, like what this is going to be, huh?
You kind of wonder if part of this is Microsoft has heard partners are working on things like this, not just Logitech, but they've definitely heard Logitech is doing this. They have a pretty close relationship with Logitech. So maybe Microsoft says we could do that, but we don't really need to. In 2 years, there is going to be 15 of these devices on the market. So we'll just let them do that, and we will work with all of them. Anyone wants to come work with us, trust me, we can provide you with the games you need to make these things make sense. So, yeah, I still think Microsoft would be best served making something their own, using the Surface team, which is really, a really good hardware design team. Make something that can play stuff locally and from the cloud. But I don't know. I just don't see them having much interest in doing that. But as far as Nintendo, none of this stuff affects Nintendo. Nintendo is just in such a league of its own when it comes to selling these things. It's it's not even the Steam Deck is not even really a blip on the radar, let alone this thing.
Sure. Jeff, we talked a little bit ago about games coming to EVO 2022 and how there might be some, announcements from these. Ed Boon kind of responded to a similar story on Twitter and specified, not Mortal Kombat. There will not be Mortal Kombat news. It's time for Street Fighter and other great fighting games is what he said.
So that suggests it's not like anything from NetherRealm, right? So not just like not Mortal Kombat, but...
Right, well, but then the it's time for Street Fighter and other great fighting games quote kind of makes it sound like they maybe don't have much of anything to really show here, at least in terms of like a big new game yet, which would be a big surprise, Jeff. I mean, Mortal Kombat 12 or Injustice 3, whatever it is, that could almost be shown. Not that EVO can't be a big venue for fighting games, but those games are so big that they can kind of be on even a bigger stages than that.
Yeah, exactly. Like Evo definitely has its audience. I think you could probably show off new characters there. Like if you were doing like a very inside the FGC community fighting game character announcement, I think you would do it at Evo for sure. If you have Mortal Kombat 12, you do that as a massive event. That's one of the most successful games of all time. Period. Like not just fighting games. It is such a moneymaker.
Mortal Kombat 11, I think, is probably the best-selling fighting game that isn't a Smash Brothers, right?
Yes, yes, because Multiverses is free to play. Although, WB, the reason that people thought, NetherRealm and Mortal Kombat would be there is because WB is going to be at this event. They're going to be there with Multiverses and stuff to announce for that game, probably. New characters. They have a lot of new characters coming to Multiverses, so that's what you can expect from that company at EVO.
All right, Jeff, and then, hey, another fighting game related thing here. TMNT, the Cowabunga Collection, has clarified that for the online play for the SNES version of Tournament Fighters, it will have a rollback netcode.
There it is.
So let's go, Jeff. Professional Tournament Fighters. If people are wondering why just the SNES version, the Genesis version of Tournament Fighters is not very good comparatively. This is like the SNES one is the good one. They're not just like different ports. They got two different people to make two different games based on the similar concept.
It's very similar to the way the Aladdin game is better. I'm just joking. I was going to say.
You know what, Jeff? I got that wrong on my Steam Deck. I was finally playing that Capcom Aladdin game, and you all are crazy.
Okay, I was about to I was gonna shit myself if you said you might be onto something. I was like, no, just do it, just do the thing where, I got you, motherfucker. I'm like, no, okay, all right.
No, it's fine, but it is not even.
I don't have much love for the SNES Aladdin game. No, I just don't. I also just don't have much love for the Genesis Aladdin game. Right. That's all.
We've been digging up a lot of old arguments this week, Jim. Maybe we should leave this one behind.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's keep moving.
We'll just keep moving. But hey, I'm really excited for the Cowabunga Collection. I'm in such a beat 'em up mood. I was watching a Matt McMuscles video where he was just playing some other recent beat 'em ups that I haven't heard of. One was called like Mayhem Brawler, which is like another game that basically sort of looks like a Streets of Rage 4. There was like a one with a bunch of Furies in it, or Furries. I keep saying Furies. Furries. That kind of
Furies are like those Greek like ladies with wings and stuff who attack you from heaven or whatever. Right. Furries I think are the very nice people on the internet who make very good comics and stuff.
Yeah, it was like called Jury something. I don't know, but yes. So yeah, I love me some beat 'em ups. I can go for some more on my Steam Deck, but I'll be very excited to play through some of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones again. So something to look forward to. All right, Jeff, that's it for the news stories here. Although, I want to say I went on a bit of a spending spree, Jeff.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, the thing I'm really excited for is that I bought one of those Eon. They make like the really nice HDMI converters for some Nintendo consoles, including the GameCube.
These are the kinds of things where I'm very interested in that sort of thing, or the RetroTink 5X. And I'm like, but if I do that, then I have to give in to the cravings I have to go get real classic hardware. And I've tried to live my life in such a way where I don't give in to those cravings. And I'm like, Jeff, just be happy with emulation. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. You got everything on your computer. You got everything on your Steam Deck. But those things seem so cool. Have you played around with it? Have you tested it out yet?
No, so I'm actually, it's funny because it's sold out almost everywhere. And one of the few, there's like 5 places in the store. And one of them, I don't think is a shade, is just a video game store, like a retro game store. It's about 20 minutes away from me. And so I ordered it and I'm picking it up on Thursday. So I'll be able to plug it into my video card, I assume, and play stuff off of original hardware. You know, I have like a decent collection of GameCube games already, and I actually just picked up a copy of Rogue Leader 2 and Rogue Leader also, by the way, not Rogue Leader 2, which would be Rebel Strike. And I don't know, like this would be fun to stream just actually off of the original hardware. Especially again, there are some games like Rogue Leader that are still relatively hard to emulate. So I don't know. I just think it'll be a lot of fun, and I like the idea of just playing actually off the GameCube. I like that system a lot. You know, now this thing's expensive, so it's not like it was a bit of sports, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. I love the GameCube, and everybody says it's a great product. Everybody's pretty behind it. The EON makes these, so I'm excited to try that out.
Yeah, I'd be excited to see you stream some stuff. I think it'd be fun to have GameCube nights. So you're going to finally play Odama, right? You're going to get the mic out.
Should find some Odama, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That you might need to just emulate because that's probably pretty expensive. Wasn't the question? It was like one of the last Nintendo published GameCube games. Probably pretty rare.
I'll get Odama on the price chart.
All GameCube games are like super expensive, so I bet that one's pretty expensive.
The other thing I got and was today because of the Bombcast was I finally pre-ordered a Genesis Mini 2 because you were talking about how they aren't making very many of them, and I was like, I panicked.
Those things are expensive too for what they are, with the shipping and handling and everything. Like, wasn't like all in? It isn't like $130 or something like that. That's because I remember that's how much I'm in.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's why I kind of was holding off. I was like, maybe they'll just offer me one, but I'm like, maybe they're not because like they don't really seem that concerned about selling these. Really,
yeah, right.
So I'm just like, no, I just better pre-order one. What the hell? I want one. Odama's not too bad, actually, Jeff. If you want it complete, it's like $60.
Okay, that's
for
not
a GameCube game anymore. It's not very bad.
If it's complete, that means it comes with the microphone. So yeah.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. GameCube prices have been going nuts. Like I was actually shocked. Rogue Leader in the box was just $30. That's why I picked it up. But like I wanted like Wario World, and that was like $80 somehow now. I'm like, oh gosh. But I don't know, Jeff. It might be my sickness. Maybe I won't collect all the video game things, but maybe I'll become a GameCube collector. And of course, I'm picking a time to do that when GameCube games are incredibly expensive.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any better because there were 25 million of those things in the world, and it's not like it's not like every single one of those was pristinely preserved. So like, the games that were big hits were like 1 million sellers. So yeah, anything that's not one of those is like very, very rare, especially for a Nintendo console.
Yeah, but I
get it, and
I like the GameCube probably like as good as it deserves to be loved. I loved it beyond that for some reason.
I mean, it was just such an ideal console. It was like this. It was 3D completely figured out in terms of visuals, and yet they were still experimenting with gameplay and stuff. It was just great. Notergy in chat says, I got the RetroTink 5X and put a GameCube loader in my GameCube so I can load games like a flash cart. Yeah, you could do something like that for the games that are really rare and expensive, so you could still play on the real hardware. That's probably the way to do it.
Yeah, that makes some good sense. All right, Jeff. Well, we got some other things to talk about here. We're going to read questions from the community soon. If you're sending in super chats, we appreciate that. We're going to read those kind of at the end of the show here. If you're watching live, be sure to give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that. It helps more people find the show. Jeff, why don't we get to some of these questions?
Let's do it.
Benji Glaskey has a kind of a game for us, Jeff. Listen to this.
Ooh, okay.
Hello, ass wipes. Wow. Quick.
It's actually pronounced as Weepe.
There you go. Are the following names from F-Zero or wrestling? He's done spoiler tag, Jeff, so we can both play here. So
okay, hang on. Let me get it. I was actually just opening it up right now, so I'm going to podcast producers, and it's in there. One of the threads. Okay.
You have questions for Last Nintendogs.
All right, I'm there. Okay.
All right, Jeff. One man gang. Is that F-Zero or wrestling? I think that's a wrestling character. That sounds familiar.
I think it's F-Zero.
All right, let's see. It is. That's a wrestler.
Okay. All right, this is fun.
Abyss. Oh, Abyss is a wrestler. He was from TNA.
Yes. I'm going to say a wrestler.
Okay, then. Biorex, Jeff, that has to be F-Zero.
That's F-Zero, yep.
Blackheart Destruction. That sounds like a Marvel vs. Capcom character. I almost want to say F-Zero.
I think I'll go F-Zero with you.
Wrestler.
Wow. It's, I mean... What is the like the big guy with like the mask that's always like the guy that's in the video for the FMV in the GameCube version? I can't remember what his name is.
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
That's Mrs. Arrow.
F-Zero.
That's F-Zero. John Tanaka. There's a Tatanka in wrestling, but not Tanaka.
I know. I think this is a deliberate swerve, so I'm going F-Zero.
Antonio Guster. That also sounds like F-Zero.
Yes, F-Zero. F-Zero for Antonio Guster. That's what I'm saying.
Scott Flamingo.
Wrestler. Yes.
Drac. Drac has to be F-Zero. I don't know a Drac. There you go.
There it is. Okay, yeah, F-Zero.
Good times. Thank you, Benji.
That was good.
Beefhammer asks, after your prolonged stay in Nintendo jail and hearing Mike constantly muttering himself the phrase fucking cat shines over and over again, you decide it's time to break out of Nintendo jail. What Nintendo character do you recruit to help break you out? May suggest Yoshi, since we know he can swallow you and turn you into an egg before rolling you out of jail. Yeah, that's what it should make sense, but somehow Yoshi can like go through the bars and swallow us, and we come back through the bars, we squeeze through them like Tim Allen and fucking Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yeah.
Then we go inside of his disgusting body and hope he doesn't turn us into an egg, and instead gracefully spits us out once he's outside.
Yeah, that's the answer. I mean, it's completely obvious to me. I don't know why they don't have more mitigating like security to be take care of this, because it's
they should have planned for this.
They should have known this is what we were going to do.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Jump Matt says, what do you think the price point will be for the follow-up to the Switch? That's an interesting question, Jeff. Depends on when it comes out. If it was going to come out this year, I bet it could be $400. I
bet it could be $400. Yeah. I wonder if what they'll do is have a light and a complete, ready to go top of the line one, and have them be 300 and 400 at launch. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they end up doing.
Screaming Turbo Bandit says, and he wants me to do Jim Ross voice for some of this. Hi, Jeff. Gotta love the glove. Grubb and Mike. Fruity. Delicious. Fruity. Skittles. I loved it. I don't know if you remember that, Jeff, but there was this period in like the late 2000s where Skittles was a sponsor, and it was just JR and Lawler still doing commentary. And every week, JR would get more ridiculous with the Skittles ad read. At first, he's like, from Fruity, delicious Skittles. And then, like, he was just like trying to make Lawler laugh. He would just go, Fruity, delicious. And like every week, you get more and more intense. It was great.
I'll have to look up a compilation of that.
Yeah. Oh, it's good stuff. Miyamoto one day knocks on Jim Ross. Oh, we're going to Jim Ross themes. One day knocks on Jim Ross's door and offers him $100 million to do commentary for one Nintendo game. Well, I'll tell you what, Jim Ross will definitely say yes. But Jim Ross then contacts you, Nintendogs, to help him pick that game. If you had Jim Ross do recorded commentary for one Nintendo game, whether it's coming out now or for a made-up game, what is your pick? I mean, the obvious thing here is if Level 5 got to make that like wrestling Mario game that they wanted to. And imagine if they actually just had JR for that. How good would that be?
Yes, that would be very cool. That would be perfect. I would love that. I wish
it'd be beautiful.
I wish we could get all that. Yeah.
It'd be absolutely beautiful. And like I actually refuse to say anything else now, because that would just be so good.
Yes, that's ideal. Yep.
Jedi Moss 4 says, playing through Xenoblade 3, and it quickly establishes a much more serious tone than previous games in the series, with most of the silly anime hijinks from 2 not present in the game. The whole series in general is a fairly dark game narrative for a Nintendo game. Which game or series do you think is the darkest Nintendo game, tone and narrative-wise? Geist. No, I don't know. Tone-wise, that's interesting. I mean, Eternal Darkness has a pretty dark tone, I guess.
And I think, some of the Fire Emblem games get pretty rough in the second... Like, Three Houses got pretty rough in the second half.
Yeah, but it's like anime rough.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think that the dark version of Advance Wars, where it wasn't like... when they got away from... Yeah, Days of Ruin. When they got away from the, haha, war is fun, and stuff. And then they went to like Days of Ruin. It was like pretty morose stuff, but it's never like it's morose for like a Nintendo game. Like it never goes much beyond that.
Yeah. I tell you what, Jeff, just from what I've been hearing, I'm actually kind of like pretty excited to start Xenoblade 3.
Yeah, people seem to be really into it.
Yeah. Just everything I hear about it sounds like, oh, that addresses major problems I had with the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Two, so we'll see. Dr. Turbosat says, hey, dogs, if Kirby is indisputably the strongest Nintendo character, maybe strongest character overall, which is the weakest Nintendo protagonist? I mean, I guess Captain Olimar, he's like microscopic, right? Not microscopic, but he's very small. he's nothing without the Pikmin. So he's probably a weak boy.
Yeah,
I guess it's like Luigi brother or Luigi Fred is probably even worse, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name even.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know his name. He's not worth knowing.
Yeah, he's below the scum of my shoe.
That's
so
right.
That's
exactly.
how weak he is. Yeah.
And then Rambo NR5 says, "Dear Beach and Corsair compadres." It's funny he should say that because we were just talking about Logitech and Racer, and Marty's like, "I always want to try Corsair just because I like the fact that it's
Corsair is Elgato now too, so they got a lot of Elgato stuff that I use.
Given that the Nintendo and Lego collab seems to have been successful between the Lego NES set and the Mario sets, do you think we'll see more Lego Nintendo consoles? I love an SNES set with Mario World playing on a CRT TV or the OG Game Boy Advance. I don't see why not. I would like more console ones, Jeff. I know like some people were excited about that Bowser thing. I'm not really interested in Legos that aren't like Lego sets that aren't like buildings or objects or like usually buildings and vehicles are the sweet spot.
You're a man of rapidly approaching middle age, Mike. So of course that's what you're interested in. Like buildings.
It was always like that. Like the best ones were always. The best ones are always the Star Wars ones because it was just starships. And I'm like, yeah, that's perfect for Lego. I don't want to build like a character into a Lego. Like I don't want a Lego Pikachu. I don't get that. What are you trying to show me, Jeff?
I got my Lego BD1 here.
That's pretty good.
It just came today, and I am.
That's great.
I didn't even remember pre-ordering it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is fantastic.
Wow.
I'm so excited to actually build this. It's yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like kind of it's Star Wars, so I like that. It's a droid, so I would like that, and it's also it's like kind of on like the lower tier of like well-known Star Wars stuff, so I could still feel kind of like a hipster about it. I don't know. I'm just into it.
No, yeah, the Star Wars stuff's always great. I always like the A-Wing sets. I don't know why.
Yeah, A-Wing is very cool. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Wow, there he goes. I would like them to do Super Nintendo. They should do a Virtual Boy one though. They should do Virtual Boy next.
They should do a GameCube one. It should just be one giant Lego block, and it's like just one piece.
There you go.
The assembly is incredibly easy. Next one here is from Velocity Prime 1. Since Nintendo perfected chess by adding waifus with Fire Emblem, what other ancient game could be improved with hot anime characters, checkers with husbandos, Go with sexy cat people? That's interesting. They should. I mean, they made that Fortune Street game, which was kind of like Monopoly, but it was like Dragon Quest and Mario characters. But I mean, Dragon Quest doesn't have a ton of waifus. It has a few. Maybe they need to like make a more intense waifu Monopoly.
Yeah, we could do a 9 Mins Morris with just a bunch of goatsies. I don't know. He took all the good ones, Mike. I got nothing more here for you.
Yeah, he's right. Checkers Husbandos is pretty good.
Yeah.
Mr. Bowler says, "Hey Nintendogs, Nintendo has decided to start making that Marvel money is going to make a Super Smash Bros. Cinematic universe. Each of you is approached to direct a movie based on a Smash character or characters of your choice and are given unlimited control and resources to bring your vision to life. Which characters would you choose and would you have starring in the title role?" So if you had to direct a movie starring a Smash Bros. Character, Jeff, which one would you want to do? I mean, Wario is there for you. You could pick Wario.
Yeah, I think that'd be very good. I could see a Wario show working, but maybe Wario would probably be like one of the Disney Plus shows, actually, I think. And I think for a movie, I would probably want to have Captain Falcon and go into the F-Zero world and spend some time in Mute City. And then I think you would probably have like one of the other Smash Brothers characters show up in Mute City in the post-credit scene. And that's where like things kick off. I think that would be a good place to start it. Because like Captain Falcon feels like an Iron Man level Nintendo character to me.
I'd make a movie with Daisy. And it's going to be a special movie.
Yeah, we get it. We got it. Right when you said I would make a movie with Daisy, we got what you were going for, Mike.
Hosp says, "Hey, yo, dogs, advice time. I'm slowly buying up a bunch of cartridges for my analog pocket, but how the hell do you adequately store/display them? Link's Awakening deserves better than the dust-ridded shoebox." Yeah, I have a drawer, Jeff, that I just throw these things in. Oh, that's the beauty of these cartridges, right? They're just little plastic things. Yeah. Just toss them around. They'll last. They'll be fine.
I got a big Game Boy shaped Game Boy case that nice. Was not mine when I was a kid. It was one of my friends, and I took it from him. I think nice. he actually gave it to me, but it felt like taking it from him because I'm like, this stuff's all going to be worth something someday. But whatever. And so yeah, I put everything in there. But also that was the game. Analog Pocket now supports just playing ROMs off that thing. So that's the life now. I'm just doing all that, all digital.
Bench JC says, "Heyo Wolves." Or hello, he didn't say hello, excuse me. Hello, Wolves. Xenoblade 3 is the game of the year that won't win Game of the Year. Out of any of the games you played, what's a game you think never got the recognition deserved, with it being better than a ton of other games in its time? Game Boy Color is its own thing. How dare you? No, I mean, good. You're on my right. I forget. Yeah. Sometimes. Yes, thank you.
Sometimes it's like you lose the thread a little bit. Yeah, I
sometimes
get it.
I forget. Yeah, what part I'm playing up my indignation on. I think it's a little nuts, Jeff, that none of those Hitman games got more recognition for Game of the Year. Like, there's always people who love them, and like it seems like if you bring them up with a group of like the gamers, they're always like, "Yeah, those are so good." But I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who I think consider themselves the gamers, and I think they like. I hate to say it, but they just play those games wrong. They just play them through.
Wow.
Like once and then you know, even then, like I don't think they're like trying to like get too creative with it, and so they burn through the game in like a couple hours and like, well, I've beat Hitman. I'm like, you haven't even begun, Hitman. You haven't even begun. You don't even know. And whatever, Hitman's been around a long time. I get it, maybe some people have already had their time with it, but yeah, it's always bummed me out. Those, you know what though? At the same time, Hitman 3 seems like it has found that audience in the same way that stuff like SnowRunners has, where it's like it's just kind of getting big over to the side that no one pays attention to it. And Hitman 3 is like even bigger than that, and that justifies them making DLC for it, or you know, making free DLC for it. So whatever, I'm happy. Just keep going. We'll keep playing Hitman over here, and if it doesn't get Game of the Year recognition, whatever, I'll live.
Next here is from Gruntilda's Ass, one of my new favorite followers, Jeff. Great name. Sup, dogs. I really am not a fan of RPGs, but love Live Alive. Looks a bit intriguing to me. Oh, but Live Alive looks a bit intriguing to me. Doesn't love it yet. Would you still say it's worth a shot for non-RPG fans? Yeah, I think so. It helps. It's very fast-paced for RPGs, all these kind of mini campaigns. There's very little grinding. Some of the campaigns don't even have that much combat, really, Jeff. So yeah, I think it is one that even if you're not the biggest RPG fan in the world, you can give Live a try and have some fun with it. I just keep saying it different every time.
Play the demo. Yeah, I've been digging the demo, and that's what has convinced me to buy the game. So yeah, that's what I think you should do the same thing.
It's very good. And then Lossian says, "Hello, gents. Hope your weekend went well. Jeff, not the butthole, the meat, Grubb, and Mike, suck it down, Minotti. With Nintendo dominance in handheld and Japanese market, can you imagine any change to that situation? Like Nintendo misstepping on the next console with unwanted gimmick or higher prices, or competitors entering the space. P.S. Game Boy Color is just a revision of Game Boy since both are 8-bit. God. I mean, gosh, absolutely, Jeff. Like they've been up and down plenty of times. I mean, you know, they went from NES to kind of like
from
SNES to GameCube was like a slow decline-ish, and then like Wii back here, and then Wii U here, and then Switch here. It's been like a roller coaster lately.
But the handhelds have never been up and down, right? They've only ever been up. That's what gives me confidence that for the most part, because they're gonna kind of just keep the Switch going, because like the Switch, for all intents and purposes, has just become their handheld that you can also play at home. And so,
the one time there was a misstep with handhelds, well, besides the Virtual Boy, which doesn't even really count. When the 3DS first came out, it was overpriced. So maybe they overpriced.
It could be something like that. It could be, that's the kind of misstep that could happen. Yeah. But that misstep did not even open the path for a Vita, right? So
right. Well, it's pretty easy to correct. You lower the price.
Exactly. So I think that when it comes to handheld gaming devices, Nintendo's pretty safe in Japan, right? That's where we're talking about the Japanese market. It's just
Japanese market.
Yeah, probably. I just don't see anything being able to just displace them there now.
One Up versus CPU says, I figure if Nintendo's going to announce any more 2022 games, they're going to do so very soon.
Yeah.
Which of these is or isn't releasing in 2022? Zelda ports, Metroid Prime Remake, Advance Wars 1+2. Jeff, at this point, the only one I have any hope for is Metroid Prime, and even then,
kind of there with you. Yeah.
I'm getting scared.
Yeah, there's a super chat asking about Metroid later, so
there was.
We'll get into that more in a bit. But I think I tend to exactly agree with what you just said. Where at one point earlier this year, I was like, we could get all three of those this year, At this point, it's like, there's still a space in, November, whatever, for Metroid. I don't know where they would put Zelda now. I think it still makes sense to put it out this year, but it just doesn't seem like they're going to. And then Advance Wars 1+2. I think they just keep pushing back for now.
Okay, and then from Fluffy Cloud Gamer, hi Beef and Cheddar Boys. With Mario Kart 8 DLC including a never-before-seen track, what kind of course would you like to see added in the future? Any specific themes, possibly from a different Mario game or a different Nintendo property? Also, first time asking a question as a podcast producer. Happy to be here and thank you guys for all you do. I thought that was a new name. Hey, thanks, Cluffy Cloud Gamer. I was about to say Fluffy Cloud Gamer. Thanks so much.
Yeah, there we go.
We got there.
Yes, finally. So yeah, the question is like, what like kind of theme would we want on a new Mario Kart 8 track?
Yeah, I mean, Star Tropics as a track would be pretty cool. I mean, it would be like Koopa Beach, but Star Tropics instead.
Right, but if they start going, then it's like we just need the like Nintendo Smash like Brothers Kart, right? We could do a WarioWare track and all this other stuff. Like would be very cool.
Is there? They haven't done a new Kong City track yet, have they?
New Donk City.
I knew that was wrong. New Donk City.
No, but I bet that's gonna have to be part of this, right?
On.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen. I think there's a lot of stuff they can mine from Odyssey.
Yeah, Ruined Kingdom, the one with the dragon. Like, come on, that'd be fun.
There's some cool stuff they could do there. I think
Wooded Kingdom. Basically, every level from Mario Odyssey would make for an incredible track.
I would kind of want one that's just a Mario Kart Live track. And so like that live game that came out where it was like, the AR game where you played as the little RC car and you would drive around your house. And I would want it to like look pretty realistic, but you're driving around and you drive past like the NES and a Super Nintendo.
So you want to drive through like someone's living room. That'd be cute.
Yes. You go drive through someone's living room and you could see like old consoles around and stuff. And they have like Nintendo themed living room sort of thing. I think that'd be cool.
Nintendo Bro says, hello, Mike, top 100 Minotti, and Jeff, top 3 Grubb. Is WarioWare or Wario Land Wario the cooler Wario? That's interesting. The cooler, right? What does cooler mean in this situation, Jeff? I think the Wario Land Wario is probably cooler. Wario has always been presented as pretty pathetic.
Right, yes. He's like desperate and always sort of ending up in his schemes are always blowing up in his face, right?
Yes.
So Wario Land Wario probably is the cooler Wario in terms of being able to being slick or whatever.
But the one you like less.
The one I like more is the WarioWare Wario,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Vision49 says, just finished Skyward Sword and was wondering, why was this chosen as the first Wii U port to the Switch? I thought Twilight Princess was the best seller of the three and most popular for potential port, so it seems weird to go Skyward Sword. Based on nothing but speculation, a fun theory I had is that Nintendo wants people to play the story before Breath of the Wild 2. We know Breath of the Wild 2 will heavily feature a world in the sky, and like Skyward Sword, we will likely need to reforge the broken Master Sword we saw in the trailer. I think there will be some connection, but also, they already HDified Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of work to do there to bring those.
And the work on Skyward Sword probably had begun at a time where it's like it makes sense to launch that now. Like that sort of thing.
Probably this. I imagine a similar team went from Wind Waker HD to Twilight Princess HD to Skyward Sword HD.
Yes.
So that's probably really why. Major Day says, Jeff, why did you choose one of the longest animes to start watching? And Mike, if we recommend a short top tier anime, would you give it a shot? Yeah, probably. I mean, I've never really seen Cowboy Bebop, and that's not very long.
Oh, so man, you got to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Maybe I'd watch Cowboy Bebop. Jeff, it's not like Jeff started watching One Piece, though. That's like the longest anime.
Right. Yeah, Naruto seems pretty long, but also I'm going to skip a lot of it. All the filler stuff that is agreed upon by every fan that it's filler, I'm just going to zoop right by it.
Can filler be fun though, or is it just universally hated in Naruto?
I will assess for myself, Mike. I will dip my toes into the filler, and
try the filler.
I bet I'm going to agree with most people because you could just tell that filler is mostly reusing the same scenes and stretching out still images that they talk over, and maybe they say slightly different dialogue this time, recapping a bunch. One of the last episodes I just watched, and here's a preview for anime update for Patreon subscribers and stuff that we're going to record after this episode. the 10 minutes of like the 20-minute episode were recapping what's happened in the show so far, and then the actual new stuff was just 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, they were just like running behind the schedule on this episode and just like stretched out the last time on.
Well, I know if like Dragon Ball they had filler arcs because they literally had caught up to where the manga was, or manga. What do they call it? Manga? Yeah,
manga.
Like, manga. So like they had to like slow down because they had to invent something that wasn't in the manga so that they could wait for it to catch up.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's like the problem that Game of Thrones ran into, but Game of Thrones just went ahead and kind of did its own thing.
Watch Cowboy Bebop. I actually
seen Samurai Champloo, guys. Oddly enough, we watched it at a friend's house like in one sitting. I know, right? Yeah, it was all right. I liked but there was a filler baseball episode, and that was like my favorite episode. Was the baseball episode of Samurai
Champloo. There's a lot of stuff that's not part of the main story in Cowboy Bebop. But you need to watch all of it. Cowboy Bebop is just fun. Watch that first episode and try to live the rest of your life without watching the rest of the Cowboy Bebop.
I watched Cowboy Bebop on Adult Swim. It would always be the fridge episodes. I've seen that one like 4 times.
That's a good one though. That's a really good episode.
Doc7 says, "Hello, Mike. Oh dear. Oh gorgeous Minotti and Jeff. You fucking donkey Grubb. If Nintendo were to physically arrest your co-host for this podcast, which Nintendo character would you replace them with?" Oh, I would replace Jeff with Daisy. Imagine how great that would be. Daisy is so fun and like just what a breath of fresh air, right?
Okay, all right, we get it.
Yeah, it would be great. She would scream her name a lot. It'd be fantastic.
I would replace Mike with Kirby, because after all the years of him just yelling and screaming and just nonsense, it'd be nice to have like they just say, what does Kirby even say? Like he kind of squeaks, right?
Hi. Yeah. So I hope you'll get the Kirby from Kirby's Avalanche that speaks in full sentences and is an asshole.
No, thank you. Yes, that's a nightmare.
That's what you'll get. All right, Jeff, that is it for the questions. So how about we get to the our topic here? Which is, if Nintendo had the rights to make a superhero game, which superhero would you want it to be? Jeff, is there a superhero you think Nintendo would be pretty well suited for?
I think that Nintendo would probably be best to like do something fun. So I'm like like something that's silly.
Silly? Oh, like maybe like Squirrel Girl? You want to make a Squirrel Girl
like
game?
Something along those lines. I think, like where it would be like. Something that wouldn't be inherently be like, oh, that's a really powerful one, and they would actually end up making it feel super fun. So yeah, Squirrel Girl's good. I'm trying to think of like there's anything else that like pops into mind. I don't know. Maybe it's tough. I think I say that, then I'm like, man, they'd probably be pretty good at a Spider-Man game. Not that we haven't had great Spider-Man games, but I think I'd kind of still like to see what Nintendo could do with Spider-Man or one of the Spider-Man world characters, like maybe Spider-Gwen or something like that. But yeah, I think that, because I just think like about mobility in a Nintendo game and stuff like that. I think that would translate well to any superhero for the most part. But yeah, nothing immediately comes to mind where like.
Do you think that they would be good? This is what I was kind of thinking. Fantastic Four somehow, just because Fantastic Four is kind of like, I don't know. For some reason, I think of like as that being slightly family friendly or just kind of family focused. And I think of Nintendo and families, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe that could be fun, but a Fantastic Four game has to be kind of ambitious in a way that I want.
Yeah, it's got to be ambitious, and I think like the switching between characters, or maybe you play as one of the characters and have to deal with the team. I think Nintendo would probably actually struggle with that stuff. I think Michael James' Spider-Pig is a really good idea. Spider-Pig would be more
like a 3D platformer.
Yes, exactly.
Some would like that Spider-Man stuff. That'd be pretty great.
Exactly, yes, and it's just a lot of character. And like kind of make it a mix between a platformer and like a Mario RPG sort of thing. I think that would be very cool.
All right, Jeff, I'm not going to get you off the hook here yet because I want to hear one non-Marvel answer from you.
Okay, let me think about like some Spawn. I want Spawn. I want Nintendo to do Spawn. I want Nintendo to make Spawn fun. One thing that no one has ever accused Spawn of being fun.
They should adapt the critically acclaimed comic book series Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Archie.
Archie. Well, I said superhero, not just comic.
Apparently Riverdale, new season of Riverdale, they're basically gods now on that show.
Yeah, as soon as I love Archie, actually. That series is like, no, I don't need a dark take on Archie. I'm sorry. Where they're like killing off like Mitch or Midge or whatever. It's like their corpse is like strung up on stage during a school assembly. Like, no, no thanks.
And the one girl's like a witch and she's like stopping an asteroid from hitting.
That's just Sabrina.
Okay, yeah.
Sabrina's always been there, but she was like a fun witch before, not like an actual scary witch with like body horror and stuff.
All right, I'll keep thinking, and I'll let you know what my non-Marvel answer is, other than Spawn by the end.
Well, I bet we got some good ones from the community here, so how about we get to it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Benji Glassky says the true superhero, Jesus Christ. Can you? How many decades are we removed from Nintendo feasibly making a Jesus Christ video game?
Within this century, they will do that. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's public domain. It's public domain.
Benji Bop says, Duff Man, that'd be great. That'd be great.
That'd be fun.
Jamie H1224 says, thinking outside of the DC Marvel box, give me a multiplayer beat 'em up in the Incredibles universe. Between the family and additional characters like Edna or Frozone, each one would have a pretty diverse moveset. We've had some Incredibles games, Jeff. There was Rise of the Underminer that kind of came out with the game, and then there was the Incredibles set with Disney Infinity. Those games have always been pretty basic. They've been pretty basic, just like beat 'em up-y things.
Yeah, I still think they could. I think that's a good fit for them, though.
Just this guy, says, does Dick Tracy count? If not, Flash Gordon or the Phantom, maybe the Rocketeer. I mean, tell you what, I would like a Rocketeer game. I don't know if Nintendo is really the one to do it.
I don't know. I think, because Rocketeer, the sense of flight, like, Pilot Wing's not exactly like meeting the Rocketeer requirements, but yeah, I'm trying to think of like if they've had any good, like anything close to the Rocketeer. Not really.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, F-Zero, but they haven't done that in a while, and even that's not really correct.
Right.
So I don't know. It would almost have to be kind of like for some reason the thing I'm thinking of is Just Cause. It would have to be like Just Cause adjacent, something like that. Jayden says, I think a Big Hero 6 game would work super well with Nintendo development. It would be amazing exploring Nintendo's San Francisco. Who wouldn't want a Baymax amiibo? So that makes some sense. Did you like that movie, Jeff?
I've had it on for the kids a couple times and have to like peek over their shoulder, and I can tell like I would probably enjoy it, but I've not sat down to watch it for myself.
Pablo Ka says, my pick goes to either Elongated Man or Ant-Man. I don't know who Elongated Man is, but Ant-Man's not a bad idea. Could be Pikmin adjacent, like a Pikmin crossover kind of a thing.
Yeah, that could be very cool. That's actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I like that one. Screaming Turbo Madness says Nintendo should make a cooperative platformer similar to Super Mario 3D World, but for everyone's favorite superhero duo, Yank and Doodle. It just looks like two Buckies. Adopt our boy wanders into 3D World levels by jumping on Nazis like they're Goombas and make sure they're close together so they become invulnerable. Literally, their superpower. Jeff, that's like us. We're invulnerable.
Exactly. I've never been hurt when in proximity to you.
It's true. You can have players 3 and 4 be other prize comic icons, Green Llama and Blackout. Who are these people? And have them fight Frankenstein's monsters. Another canon fight in Yank and Doodle. Lord, Jeff, I've never learned about Yank and Doodle before, and now I'm like,
Prize Comics. I've not heard of Prize Comics. So yeah,
Jeff, I do not like how rosy their cheeks are.
Yeah, that's how you can tell they're good boys. Although the bad guys also have rosy cheeks.
Velocity Prime 1 says, let's do Doom Patrol, but make it like WarioWare. Just wacky characters doing wacky things quickly. That would be fun.
Good. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Gerbear says Superman. I don't think the game would be any good, but if even Nintendo can't make a game starring that dullard entertaining, then it might finally stop obnoxious blowhards pushing the idea that people should waste years of their lives and millions of dollars making a game about some goof that flies around wearing his baby blanket. Wow. Herder, it could be like Metroid where you lose your powers at the start and then regain them during the story. Get the fuck off with that stutter. Superman sucks. Blockheaded Kryptonian Shitehawk. I was about to say Superman. That might be kind of fun, but he was being sarcastic, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Jump, Matt says, it's gotta be a weird superhero that would present unique game mechanics. Maybe someone like Plastic Man, Multiple Man, or a supervillain counts, Stilt Man. Although his picture here is of Daredevil. Although I think it's when he fights Stiltman. Oh,
Yeah.
Stiltman is just a very tall guy on like a robot suit that can extend. Stiltman. Dr. Turbo says Nintendo is the most family-friendly gaming company. Who's the most family-friendly superhero? That's right, Deadpool. I'd love to see Nintendo take a crack at Deadpool, making him cocky and quirky and weird, and staying truthful to the source material. Deadpool kills the Mushroom Kingdom. I liked that Deadpool game that came out in like the 360 era, Jeff. I actually thought that was
I never played it.
Underrated.
I never played. I should give it a try. I want to go back to that pretty decent Wolverine character action game. So maybe I can play both of those.
Well, so, like those are both examples. Like every game at that point kind of became a knockoff of Arkham Asylum, at least in terms of having that combat.
Right.
And both of those are like that, but they're competent and they're fun and they're both like the Deadpool game is like being funny and it's being a parody of video games and stuff like that. I don't know. It worked for me. Rambo NR5 says Nintendo should make their own Midnight Suns game, but instead of Marvel, dip into the Venture Brothers universe and feature the Order of the Triad, Dr. Orpheus, Jefferson Twilight, and the Alchemist. I was never a giant Venture Brothers fan, Jeff.
It's a good show, and it's a good idea. Like a fun tactical card game with those characters could be very good.
Lossian says Darkwing Duck. Nintendo could produce the perfect blend of zany and seriousness to create a gem. I mean, Darkwing Duck counts. I guess he is kind of a superhero. That would be pretty great. I would like that a good amount. We had that good NES Darkwing Duck game that was kind of like, it was made by Capcom in that era, and it was a lot like Mega Man, and it worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bower says, when Nintendo makes the ARMS sequel, what better way to increase their roster than adding stretchy superheroes? Springman, Midman, and Twintel fighting the characters like Miss Marvel, Mr. Fantastic, Plastic Man, and Elastigirl. Sure, that sounds like a licensing nightmare, but Nintendo has a lot of lawyers, so it should be no problem. Jeff, I don't know if we can handle Elastigirl fighting Twintel on the screen.
Yeah, for real. And like then that means she could end up in a Smash, and then she's right next to Daisy, and then what do we do? What do we do?
It's no good. It's no good. The productivity is just going to go down across the
exactly.
world. Yeah, all those boomers saying nobody wants to work anymore. They'll actually have a point.
Yeah, they'll finally be onto something.
Betch JC says Nintendo needs a Shark Boy and Lava Girl game. I feel like it could have some crazy game mechanics and just be a blast from the past. Like that would be good, Jeff, if those were relevant characters now. I don't think Nintendo's going to do a nostalgia act there.
Right. I think there's a recent Shark Boy and Lava Girl now that they're like grown up and they're like teenagers.
It was like kind of a sequel. I don't think it did very well.
Yeah, probably. That's probably right.
And then Haas says, with Naive Angel mode now a thing, surely Nintendo could have a stab at making a The Boys game. Yeah, sure. They'll just let you mow down crowds of NPC characters with laser eyes. They'll be super into that, Jeff. They'll have a giant orgy level. Nintendo's gonna be all over it.
I was talking to my daughter and I came back and the first thing I heard was giant orgy level.
Yes. What do you think? They said The Boys.
Oh yeah. Hey, okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I think that I was gonna say Invincible, but I'm like that's too violent. The Boys is even more violent than that. So and like very sexual and dealing with like racism and fascism. It's probably a little outside of Nintendo's wheelhouse, but I would like to see it.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
In Nintendo's world, we invite the fascists to play golf with us.
That's right, exactly.
One Up versus CPU says Nintendo should make a Zelda-style Naruto game. Okay, look, if you're an anime, you're not also a superhero. Goku is not a superhero. Naruto is not like maybe the My Hero Academia people where they are literally like in superhero school. Maybe I'll allow that.
Goku is basically just Superman, though, right?
Yes, but also more than that, he's anime. Like
okay.
It's like
all right, fair enough.
Right? It's like how people are like, Zelda's an RPG. I'm like, I understand it's kind of an RPG, but it's more than that. It's like an action adventure game, right?
Fair enough. One Punch Man is also a superhero, and we all okay, we agree to that. He's got a cape, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one I would watch. Actually, people maybe because something about that's intriguing to me. One Punch Man. I like. Oh, he just punches people one time. That sounds like it's funny. Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Then, Nintendo Bro says, I think Nintendo could actually make a good Avengers game. They clearly know how to handle co-op well, so why not take a shot at a 4-player Marvel beat-em-up? Imagine we wouldn't have to hear any annoying, did not meet sales expectations talk out of this title either. I mean, isn't that basically Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Jeff?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, they didn't make that game themselves, but still, yeah.
Soysuke says, if Nintendo could have any superhero IP, how cool would it be to have the team that does Luigi's Mansion, which sold more than the Final Fantasy remake, make a Doctor Strange game based in a haunted castle from the comics? Man, that would be fucking cool. And also hope both of you are doing good. We are doing good. So sorry for banning you earlier.
Yeah. we had to lay down the hammer. He gets it. He said the words. He gets it.
It's why he respects us, is because we are so.
That's right.
Exactly.
We're not friends. We're not friends with these mods. We're parents, and we're very loving parents.
We'll throw them in the mod hole if we have to. But yeah, it's a decent idea, Jeff. Although, like, part of the charm of the Luigi's Mansion game is that Luigi's moveset is somewhat limited, and he's a bit kind of slow and stuff. Doctor Strange would have access to just so many powers and things. Which kiddo do you have there?
Now Addie's here, and she's like, she wants to know when Uncle Mikey is coming back, and I told her I was on the phone with him right now, and she says, "Hi, Uncle Mikey."
Oh, hi.
He says hi. What do you want to tell him? You tell me real quick, and then you got to go. No, you can't hit that. That's gonna mute us. Okay. Okay.
This is gonna be good.
She just muted me instead. The meeps are just hiding. Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, I'll probably be able to stop in when we come pick you up for wrestling at the end of the month.
That sounds good. I'll let the kids know.
And that will really weird them out because I'll have AJ there. And I'm like, look at this guy who looks like me.
Uncle Ash guy.
This is actually not bad. Major Day says, I don't know about the rest of the game, but I feel like Nintendo could make Green Lantern so cool with the ability to literally make anything he can think of, which is, of course, whatever the developers can think of. They did make a bad Green Lantern license game when that movie came out, right? Like, that was at the tail end.
Wasn't that one of the... No, that wasn't Sega, but, like, yeah, there's one of those, yeah.
Because Sega did the Iron Man and Captain America games, which was, like, also at the end of people doing that. But I feel like Green Lantern was even later.
Yeah, I mean, Green Lantern just reminds me of Wonderful 101, right? You have all these people that can turn into a bunch of different stuff, so maybe get Platinum on it or something.
I mean, there was a lot of these, Jeff, where I feel like maybe you get Platinum to do it.
Yeah, right? Same. So, yes, I've thought that multiple times as we've been going through these.
Soji Koto says, the tick lean into the weird, bizarre, goofy, insane nature of the character. Maybe rather than the character having escaped from a mental institution like in the comics, the game takes place entirely in his imagination, which can allow for more fantastical, zany levels. I like that kind of thinking. Like, let's do like the Tick or Space Ghost or something, right?
Space Ghost is very good, yeah.
Then Doc7 says Nintendo must revive Project Hammer as a Steel game with Shaq reprising his role. There, man, that's an idea. Maybe Shaq will finally get in a good game. Do you think Shaq's furious that LeBron James is in a very successful fighting game?
Yes, I do think. I think so. I bet Shaq's the kind of guy that knows that has happened and that it's well received and has been paying attention to the Metacritic. So yeah,
he's furious.
So I thought about it, and I think Sam Raimi's Darkman is what I want them to do. Have you ever seen Darkman?
I think I know about Darkman. I never saw it.
Yes. So it's like a game where the movie's just like, he wears like bandages and stuff, and he could turn into anybody. That just makes me want to make it a Hitman game, but still, we'll just have Nintendo do it instead. I think that'd be pretty fun.
All right, Jeff, that is it for those answers. Why don't we get into the super chats?
Yeah, let's do it. I have them right over here, and by right over here, I mean, let me just go to Stream Elements real quick.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's
if you keep saying that long enough. No, you can't get that high.
Oh, that wasn't good. All right, it's still loading, but it's going to be here in a second. All right, we have super chats starting with Nintendo Derek saying, "What are the chances of starter evolutions and version exclusive Pokemon in tomorrow's Pokemon Presents? It's all I really want to know at this point to feel confident in my decision making." Mike, what do you think?
Version exclusive Pokemon pretty high. Starter evolutions, I don't know. I don't remember those are things they ever actually announce. I feel like eventually it's like somehow images show up somewhere, or they tweet those or something. I don't know. But both of them are possible.
Yeah, I think we'll probably hear like a little bit about one of those at least. Justin Sherrill renewed their membership, so thank you so much for joining the channel here on YouTube. That'll get you access to the podcast producers channel. So feel free to check in on that stuff. You can do stuff.
I've been seeing a few green names in our chat, which means that they have become members. So
yeah,
thank you.
And that means you go in the Discord and you can ask questions, and we'll answer them each week as best we can.
It also means you can join the Game Mess Game Club, where this month we are playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma / Black. Yeah,
are we really? Okay, very fantastic. I will play some of that at least
on Game Pass.
Yeah. Let's see. Dan Becker, how confident are you in Metroid Prime coming in fall? Pretty confident. I have in other places I said I would shave my head if it doesn't come out, so people are going to hold me to that. So that's going to be a thing.
If it wasn't for Jeff being this confident, I wouldn't be confident, but I still have some faith in Jeff.
I've heard it directly from inside Nintendo. This is not like going around the grapevine. This is like it's coming to me from inside Nintendo America. The plan is to release it this holiday. And, fall. This holiday is what I've heard. So that doesn't mean plans can't change. Plans can change. I just would be very surprised if these particular plans changed because November is its 20th anniversary. Maybe aliens invade and they're like, oh my God, this is being insensitive or something. Or, insensitive. Insensitive
was correct.
Yeah, exactly. I worked myself into a shoot mic.
You did!
So yeah, I'm pretty confident. The Uncharted Wolf, Grubb, Mike, I'm going to be real with y'all. Wow. I'm dying here. Is that, wait, are you being real about that? I hope you're okay.
You should not be talking to us then.
Yes, we are not doctors. We are Nintendogs.
If we're Nintendogs with the whiskey barrel tied around us.
Yes, exactly. That's the best we can offer you. Has there been any rumors about the next Fire Emblem? I need my waifu chess game. Thanks, guys. Yes, there have been
rumors.
Yeah, and it's like one is basically ready to go, and I think that's correct. I bet that's right.
There's rumors that there's going to be another remake. We don't know which one, and but also the sequel, the next one after Three Houses, is also pretty far along, and I imagine we'll probably hear about both of those either later this year or next year. They are not coming out this year, obviously, so it might be a little bit, but I expect at least one of those to be a 2023 game.
Yeah, they're probably not coming this year, but I did because I needed a remaster for my Fantasy Critic League. I went in there and I'm like, none of these other ones are going to come out for sure. So I'm just going to add Fire Emblem, whatever. It's not coming out this year, but otherwise it's just a wasted space, even though that's still a wasted space. Yeah. El Grug asks, any good games on Steam Deck that is listed as unsupported? I know X Zodiac and Sleeping Dogs work fine, but I was wondering if there is anything else. There's a lot of stuff. The thing is, most of those you just got to test yourself. I'm not keeping a mental list or anything like that. In fact, very rarely am I even looking at that verified thing. I'm just like, I want to play this game. I'm going to try to load up my Steam Deck. And if I encounter problems, I encounter problems. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But for the most part, I'm just testing things out myself. So yeah, it's nice that things are verified. And if you're about to spend money on something, definitely look at that. But if you already have the game and you want to just see if it's going to work, I suggest just trying yourself. And
I'm playing something that's not verified that I can't talk about that's working pretty well on there.
Yeah, same here. And it was not working the other day, but now it is. So, yeah. Uriel Delgado renewed their membership. Thank you so much, Uriel. We really appreciate that. Uriel also sent in a super chat. Do you think Cal Kestis ever shows up in live action Star Wars media? The character was too likable to be locked away to video games. Cal Kestis sweep. I would like that actor is available, right?
It just looks just like him. There's a million Star Wars TV shows, some of which take place around that time. Why the hell not?
Right. It's a little surprising, he didn't show up in the Obi-Wan show, right? At least as far as I know. I haven't finished that show yet.
But there's gonna be other things around then, and maybe it's because they didn't want to spoil anything about his what's gonna happen with him in the second game. Maybe after the second game comes out, though, they'll figure something out.
Yeah,
I mean, he can't. This character, I don't know. It's always weird. These outside Jedi, because you almost expect all of them to die at some point because they don't get talked about very much. But who knows? Ahsoka always somehow survived and is still around as getting a show. So
because she is self-insert fanfiction. Gratilda's...
Oh, is that true?
Listen, we got to move on before everyone gets mad at me. Grantilda's Bazungas.
Related to Grantilda's ass, I wonder.
I think so. They're sisters, I guess. Grantilda's Bazungas says Waluigi X Joker game, and they do the Joker dance. So there you go. There's your hero
if
game.
It is actually a music game or a dancing game like Dance Central or something.
Yeah. It is funny. I'm tired of pretending it's not, Mike. Michael James. Nintendo getting a Tatsunoko versus Capcom 2. Thoughts? I mean,
no way.
That'd be cool, but it's probably not going to happen. I don't know. Capcom.
I remember being really mad because I love the versus games, and like the one that came out during like that generation was for the Wii and was about a bunch of anime characters. I didn't know, so I was upset. But then we got Marvel vs. Capcom 3 not too long after that, and I calmed down.
From Lausian, Freakazoid. I wanted to change my answer. Lol. Freakazoid would be pretty good, yes.
Well, Freakazoid probably. I hope Freakazoid shows up in Multiverses at some point. Although
I think it does. Yeah.
Spielberg, I think, like has the credit for creating that character or something. So like you might have to like talk to Spielberg about that.
Is Freakazoid? Never mind. Okay, then.
No, I want to know, what was your question?
I was going to ask, is Freakazoid Jewish? But I don't mean that in any like weird way or anything like that. I'm just like something like a lot of Spielberg characters are. I think that'd be very cool if he was. Okay, that does it for the super chats, Mike.
Oh, we just got one come in.
Okay, let me take a look. Slippery Moose Cakes. It's actually cut off for me where I can read it. 80s or 90s, which had the better VG soundtracks? Okay.
I mean, gosh, 90s covers a lot more ground. When you talk about 80s, you're just talking about NES soundtracks, and there are a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
But 90s, you still have some NES soundtracks. You have all that 16-bit stuff. You have some CD-ROM quality stuff.
Right, you have 5 years of great NES music, and like 1 year of Genesis in the 80s, right? It was that 90. The 90s is kind of hard to beat there.
I think you missed this message from Firesword also, where he told you, he said, Jeff, no real question, but play the Naruto fighting games on GameCube if you like the show.
Yeah, I don't see that here in Stream Elements. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I will do that.
He sent it as like a member, actually, so there's not a super chat applied to it, so maybe that's why I didn't show up there.
All right, well, I will look into that and see if there's a way for me to get around that. Maybe I'll just have to do the viewer activity tab from now on.
I did like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai game, especially Budokai 3, which I know is on PlayStation 2. I'm not sure if it was on GameCube, but those games were very good.
I'll probably play some Naruto games. It'll probably happen.
Yeah, I wonder I'm going to see, like, what is the best Naruto game? I wonder if there's a consensus.
There almost always is with those kinds of things.
But they keep making new ones.
I haven't played DBZ Kakarot. I have it. I have it. I feel like I should just try it out.
That's the open world one they made.
Yeah, that's like the relatively recent. Yeah, I think a quasi open world or whatever one. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it looks like the most popular one is Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, which looks more recent. But then number 2 is Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst, which I guess is only slightly more recent. I don't know. There's a lot of these. They all have ninjas in the names. There are lots of ninjas involved. They all seem to be like 3D arena fighters.
Yeah, right. I don't like 3D arena fighters in general, but yeah.
No, you're not a Power Stone guy?
You know what? Power Stone is one I've always wanted to try. I think I would probably be okay with Power Stone. The ones I'm thinking of, maybe I'm just thinking of Jump Force, where it's kind of behind the back weirdness.
There are a lot of those in there. Like there's like Virtual On is one of those. I always pretended to like Virtual On more than I actually do. As much as I like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games, Budokai Tenkaichi, which was more of a 3D arena game, not nearly as good.
Right. What is that game or Nintendo 64 / GameCube game that just came to Nintendo 64, Nintendo
Custom
Switch Online
Robot
Japan?
is like that too, and not really my thing.
Yep. Why does Jeff just say everything weird?
I know I'm not saying Tenkaichi right, and I do not care. In fact, I'm proud I don't know how to say it.
It's because I have a bad mouth. I have a bad mouth.
You do have a bad mouth.
That's just how it is, man. I'm sorry.
Jeff, what have you been playing?
It got mentioned in one of these super chats, I think. Or maybe it was, I think it was one of the super chats. I've been playing X Zodiac. Mike, do you know what X Zodiac is?
Only because you were talking about it on the Bombcast today.
It's Star Fox.
It's just, look at this. It looks really pretty.
It's really pretty because it's like low polygon Star Fox for the Super Nintendo, but what runs at 60 frames per second, I like it. It is, it's very fun. It feels great, and it's just like it's got everything going for it. Sounds great, looks great. The characters are anthropomorphized animals and all that stuff. It is just more Star Fox than you even expect it will be based on this description, and that's great. That's good. On the Bombcast, Mike, I said it's kind of a shame Nintendo can't just do this exact thing themselves because they have to justify selling things for $60.
Right.
At least I think at a certain point, like on a long enough timeline, every single one of these things that we complain that Nintendo won't just do, someone's going to do a version like this, and I'm kind of like making my peace with that, especially when they're so good. This one seems very good.
So this game is early access right now. Is it on consoles or is it just a Steam thing?
It might only be on Steam right now. I mean, it's early access, so it's probably just on Steam. But I bet like when it goes 1.0, it goes right to Switch, right? Day one.
I don't see anything about Steam Deck support for it on here. Maybe not looking, right?
It's no. I think that was the question, right? That was the very specific thing. Is it's not verified for Steam Deck. I played it on Steam Deck. It's great. It runs great. Good. It's just not verified. I think they haven't like tested it. Is what the problem is there.
It's a really good Steam Deck game, but that does look great. I was actually. Well, because I was reading about or watched a video about some kind of like fan patch for Star Fox on the Super Nintendo just to get it running faster. Because I'm not usually a big fan just of like games aged badly, but like the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo was running at like 15 frames per second, and it has a lot of slowdown and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like this is just the idea of like, what if that game ran at 60 frames per second? That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, and Pablo Costa was asking what's next week's topic, and I wanted to wait till Jeff talked about this because next week's topic, and this has come up a few times now, is how would you bring back or save Star Fox? What would be your plan? What's your rescue mission for Star Fox? It seems to be in a bit of a rough spot right now. So I want to see how everybody would tackle that solution. Maybe you just hire these guys to just make like a Star Fox 3 in that style, right? That'd be fun. But
I have my answer, and it does involve kind of this game, but that's only the basis for it. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about this topic. There are ways to save Star Fox. It just becomes harder, more difficult, because Nintendo has a certain expectation that they need to meet for price, I think. I don't think they are interested in doing a $25, $30 version of their main big franchise games in most cases. They'll do a $50 WarioWare. They'll do a $50 couple, like, Toad's Treasure Tracker. That's it, though.
Right, and they'll make like weird digital Kirby games because they also still have those $60 Kirby games coming out.
Yes, exactly. But it's like we actually don't want much more from Star Fox than what we got from Star Fox and Star Fox 64. And so maybe they should just be making those games again and expanding on them and doing different ways, but in that lane. And Nintendo just, they know, at least they think they know they can't do that because people will just be, oh, well, we're not going to pay $6 for a game that looks old and bad. And while we should be rounding people up that say that and getting rid of them,
wow.
we can't. I accept that we can't do that, at least not yet.
No, we can't ethnically cleanse them, Jeff.
We can't ethnically cleanse people with bad video game opinions yet. Shit.
No, not so much. All right, though. You've been playing anything else?
I played Hitman, which is on the Switch, so I'll talk a little bit. Ambrose Island's great. And if you're doing the streaming version on Switch, I think you just get this too. So definitely check out Ambrose Island. It's free. We talked about that on Bombcast too. It's so fantastic. They know what they're doing with that game. They are so dialed in to what that game needs to be. And it's like, oh, this level's better than anything in the main game. And all those levels were great. So
yeah, I like that the story mission thing isn't nearly as like the game like saying push this button and now the marker is going to tell you where to go next. I always thought it never needed to be like that specific.
But the DLC specifically doesn't need that, right? Because it's for people who played everything else. So yeah.
It's just like, yeah, obviously they're talking about this thing, so I should go and look for that thing there, or at least keep my eye out for it. And some of it is even like more organic than that. Like you said, like, well, you found a cannonball and gunpowder, and so there must be a cannon somewhere. And like, of course there is. And of course there's a way to get the two targets into a room where the cannon is facing so you can take out both of them. It's always great how levels of multiple targets have one way to get all of them in one place at the same time.
Right, exactly.
One way to just kill them all.
And then usually, like, once you have them in one place at the same time, there's some fun way. Like, you can come up with your own plan then, and you could, like, throw an explosive in there and like, wait for them to walk in there, and then one of them will pick it up. And I did that. Like, that works too. But then usually there's like, okay, and now you can use your sniper rifle and take something out, and it'll fall on top of one person. They'll fall down on the next person or whatever. And it's just so clever. It's such like the ideal of what a video game can be, and I love it.
Yeah, and apparently there's a Monkey Island Easter egg in that map, and I think tonight after this I'm gonna go find it.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in. We'll be watching.
We'll do it. We have to light up some lanterns or something.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be a good time. I just been playing more Live a Live, Jeff, and been having fun. I started the prehistory campaign, which is pretty good actually. That one's a lot of fun. It's one that's much more like more of like a traditional mini JRPG campaign. Like some of them are like pretty like inventive or like abstract or different. Like the one's basically like a fighting game tournament. And then one of them is very narrative driven. The other, like the Western one, you're like setting traps. This one is much more just like a mini JRPG, but a very good one. And it's pretty fun with the prehistory thing because there's no actual dialogue because it's prehistory. They're all kind of like grunting and doing hand signals, and it's very, very charming.
I like it. I think that was the one that had me most curious because I'm like, oh, how are they going to pull that off? Like it's a JRPG, but no talking. I've heard people talk about it before, and now it's like, yeah, it's just the game being clever, and that's one of the things I find myself saying a lot about Live Alive is, oh, they're just very clever with this, which is the kind of thing that draws me in as someone who's normally off-put by JRPGs.
Sure. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I want to play some more of that tonight. Now I kind of want to play through it because I actually do want to start Xenoblade 3, which
wasn't expecting.
Excited about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the big thing about Xenoblade 3 is just people say it starts fast. I'm like,
which is pretty different from the other two. I mean, one's not too bad about that. 2 was pretty bad about that. 2 took a while to get going. 2 took quite a time to get going.
Are you gonna be playing any Mario Kart 8 DLC this weekend?
Yes, I'm pretty excited about these new tracks. Actually,
they look great. I think Waluigi's Pinball. Yeah,
Waluigi's Pinball is great. There's Kalahari Desert or whatever.
Of course, that train coming back. Yeah,
that's good. I like that one a lot. There's a couple of tour tracks that seem intriguing to me, and then the new track, the dessert one, also looks good. It looks like a pretty nice collection, so I am excited for that. Plus, like the way I prefer playing Mario Kart is actually playing it by myself and just playing through cups. So these are great for me because, like, I can play through some new cups, and that'll be fun. Calamari Desert, not Kalahari. Thank you, Turbo Sean.
And also, Pablo Costa says it's Live Alive. Even though they just did the thing in chat where it's Live Alive, but they spell it. It's the joke. It's the joke. We get it.
Leave. Gotcha.
Leave. Yep, that's right.
Absolutely. All right, Jeff. That just about does it here. We've done our job as Nintendogs.
I'm very excited to hear that because I like to do a good job at our podcast together.
That is true, Jeff. It is good to be good at things, not bad at them. What's going on tomorrow on Giant Bomb?
Tomorrow Lucy will be joining me. We're going to be talking about video games on Game Mess mornings. And then it's a busy day. I can't even remember everything that's happening. I do know that we are playing Fortnite. Oops, all Cenas.
Wow.
I have purchased John Cena in the video game Fortnite, and that will be my character skin. I will, you won't be able to see me, but I'll be playing Fortnite on stream. So
you're a comedic genius.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'll be on Twitch after this. Tokoto on Twitter there also. We'll be back Thursday with Game Mess Decides. So that'll be fun. Also, new 90s Disney is out about Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Woo!
Right tomorrow. Yep, check it out.
Look forward to it. Bye, everybody. Do it again.
I'm a pirate, suck my dick. I'm a pirate, suck my dick. They said I had to have a one-liner and I panicked.